Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome aboard. What a day we have planned for streaming. And for those of you on YouTube, you'll get to see it it's day by day, so to speak. We are sitting on the ground in Manchester, New Hampshire. And as the title said, I know YouTube, you didn't get to see that right off the bat, but as the title says, they're back, basically. That's right. FedEx is beginning the return process of their fleet. And from things I've read, I have yet to be able to confirm it. They have the largest MD-11 fleet right now. And they're beginning to return them to service. The Boeing folks, FAA and FedEx together have come up with a system, and they're making the retrofits, and the aircraft are beginning to come in. They've done a few test flights. You may have seen those. So yes, the tri-engine, tri-holer, TriStar. Well, no, not the TriStar. That's a different airplane. Coming back to service. And boy, has this plane been in service. As far back as I can figure, 1986. The airlines kind of poo-pooed it, but that is the MD-11, if I haven't said that already. And basically put them out to pasture. And if you will, so-called fire sale, blue light special at Kmart came up. The cargo companies gobbled them up. They were dirt cheap. And they made them a success. The cargo companies were the ones behind it. So, and FedEx was one of those leaders, UPS, and yes, with a grateful, sorrowful heart, the loss of their crew and those on the ground last year, horrifying. Um, very reminiscent of the 70s when the DC-10 literally did this exact same thing, a little higher above the ground. So, very somber yet joyful day for the MD-11. Hopefully, they'll be able to go on a few more years until suitable replacements fully come into play for them. But like I said, we're in Manchester, New Hampshire, where we left off, oddly enough, I believe, with an MD-11. And we are going to do a couple of flights in it today. We're going to head down to Newark. We'll see the new Dreswicki scenery. And then we'll head off to Indianapolis, where right now they say it's stormy. You know, we'll see how the flight sim plays that out. Sometimes it's dead right on track with it, and sometimes you're like, where's not even a cloud in the sky? Where are the storms? So, welcome to flight simming. It's never like the real thing. I can attest to that. All right, so we have the Rotate MD-11 sitting here in front of you. Hang on a second. Let me get a command here. I believe I know it, but let me double check it. So those of you here on Twitch can get information on how to update the MD-11. And many of us were like, well, you said we could, but why can't we? Well, you got to put these files in. Read through that little post that came up. It'll come up throughout the flight. I do have it set to auto, to update. And basically put those files appropriate to your sim and to your version, because there are two versions, remember. There's not just one. You got the freighter, which was the original, and then they came out with the passenger. So you have two different files. Get those loaded in, and what that'll allow is Skunkcraft to recognize, and as it did for me last night, say, hey, there's an update here. So, and yes, we are in the updated. We're not in the updated XP12.4.2 series. And if you guys at X-Plane are listening, I got real tired of what you did early on, and I just don't want to run the risk of a flight, being botched because of it. And I'm not waiting on a rollback. So that was very disheartening, and hopefully you'll find more saner ways to do things. So I'll wait till you put it to final and update when it has to update. All right, all of that aside, there it is, the great to me, I'm not a huge fan of the plane. And I'll be honest, I couldn't give you a reason why. It just never, the only thing that wows me with this plane is takeoff. If you've ever seen this aircraft take off, it's a typical McDonnell Douglas takeoff. And yes, you heard me say it right. This aircraft was created by McDonnell Douglas. Boeing inherited it. That's why they're working with the regulators and the companies to get the planes fixed. This aircraft has the typical McDonnell Douglas takeoff, where basically you point the aircraft to the moon and away she goes. Look at the MD-80 and watch the MD-11. They're pretty, it's amazing to see something this big, and you get kind of justice up close to it, say like I did at a firehouse. What are we, a couple thousand feet away, if that, to the runway. But when you see it a couple miles from the runway and you see that thing cranked up and the gears starting to come up, you're like, yeah, it's going to fall from the sky. No, it just keeps going, just like the Timex watches. If you've ever, another one to catch this maneuver on, it's a different type of takeoff, is the C5 Galaxy. Now, I don't know if the new versions of the C5 do the same thing, but when they did a combat takeoff, they would crank this big behemoth plane almost straight up and then do a 360 over the airport. Unreal. This slow, heavy, huge airport or aircraft lumbering as it does this. And you swear they're going to fall out of the sky. But they keep going and going and going, kind of like the Energizer Bunny and Timex watches. So anyway, that is about really the only thing I love about the plane. So with that, let's get up in the cockpit and let's get some work done here. We got a couple flights planned, so. All right, there we are. Now, we have our clearance. We're pretty much ready to go. I do want to talk about a couple things here real quick. When you come in, you'll come into this. Well, you have to turn it on first. Come into this page. This is kind of new, folks. The old way was right up here, and you would click the MD-11 aircraft menu. Just a few items are missing on it. You have the ability for tape style. Actually, I haven't looked at this in a while. Let me look at it. Hang on. Anything new? Come to think of it. All right. Then you would go, once you select your situational startup, cold, dark, parked, ready, blah, blah, you can read those. You also can put your SimBrief in and or user ID. I haven't tried it this time around, mainly because the last times I've done this, my user ID stayed exposed. So for us who stream or make videos, be careful. And then you got a couple little fun things here. Then we go to weight and balance. Now, I don't know if this is part of this update or the last update, But I put my payload numbers in, which is 99,984 pounds. And it set my takeoff CG to 30.5. Now, I like to set it there, so I'm wondering if it saves or it does it now for us. Thank you. Because that was one of the quirks. We had to make sure that the TOCG was 30 to 31% mean aircraft chord. So that was kind of cool. Again, those who've been with me know all this will do is apply the weight and balance to the FMS, not the aircraft. This goes to aircraft. Actually, wait a minute. They've done it different. Weight and balance to aircraft. Oh, so you got to click both buttons now. So that's what I did. Okay. Yeah, because it didn't load it the first time. Because I clicked and went on. You got to click both buttons. Otherwise, how do you load the airplane? Oh, okay. Haha. Gotcha. When you click load, that's when it'll do it. Okay. Interesting. That's a different change, but hey, I can see where that's pretty good. And you've got your 2 request buttons still here, and you can do what you want here. Beyond that, that's about all I use this for. So if you don't mind, we're gonna button up the airplane. Turn the lights off. Oh, that's cool that it tells you you turned them off. Let's see. I believe the APU is running. I always double check and turn it off here. Why? Well, if you don't, you run the risk, if you've put everything into the FMC, McDo, as I will begin to call it here, and you'll get the reason. If you haven't, kind of look at the overhead here and tell me if you don't see a pattern. That's definitely not Boeing, but it is another aircraft company's look. Wait till we show you the McDo. Apologies for the slurp, needed some coffee. All right, so we're available here, so we'll come back, disconnect. I have actually lost my flight plan. Now, I don't know if that's been fixed. That could have been, but just know that. Flight factor for sure, 767, and this plane were very vulnerable to that. It really should be turned off on the panel first, then they would pull the line. So we'll keep the chocks, we'll keep the steering, we'll keep the door open. All right, let's take one quick look outside. Anyone else here weary enough to join us? Nope. All right. We had Manchester, correction, Boston approach is still online. I'm going to switch back to them. I kept them off because they were starting to get a little busy. And we'll see how things go here. I think we're ready to push. Let me just run through my final checks here.
Walker 1264, turn left heading 310.
And you all should have heard that.
Heading 310, Walker 1264.
Hang on, I'm just clicking something on my phone here to make things a little easier.
Lufthansa Papa Super Boston.
Here we go.
Approach hello. Information, my current expect ILS.
All right, final checks look like we're ready to go, except for, let me, couple button presses. All right, I told you we'll look at something else. I'm calling them McDo's. They say FMC. Don't they sure look like an Airbus?
250 to run localizer.
Left heading 250, Swiss 52.
Yeah, I will affectionately sometimes call it the Airbus 11.
Heading 250, join localizer 1260 at Walker 1264.
Oh, I forgot you got to do this, then you can do that. All right, now the flight plan. Oh, let me clear that. All right. Let's pull that up real quick.
Swiss 54 Heavy, you are 6 miles from Noli. Maintain 4,000 until established. Clear to ILS. Runway TT left approach. Maintain 190 knots until advised.
Oh, I'm like, he's going into Boston. Boston's pretty heavy right now. Here's us. So you can see Boston Center has gobbled up a lot of airports. Or Boston approach. Okay, here we go. Zero fuel weight 353, 255. Payload 99,984 pounds. We're running 34,600 pounds of fuel and a reserve of 8,600. All right. So with that, let me clear that. And let's. Oh, you all didn't see that. Good Lord. I'm having that day again. Elevatech. I did something else. Sorry.
Papa Super, descend and maintain 3,000. Turn right heading 310 vector to final.
All right, and here we go. Hang on, I'm just getting a couple of... Where is it? Oh, there it is. In place for you, and let's push this thing back. All right, let's go over here. Close the door. And then let me just show you it real quick. Go to rotate. And ground operations, dismiss staircase. See what I mean? Just a few items missing.
70 knots or greater until focus. Contact
Okay,
tower
we're ready to push.
127 until focus and 1288. Good day, Swiss Factory Heavy.
Lufthansa 8 Papa Super, turn left heading 270.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Okay, get that beacon on. And in flight, new tab. There we go. Perfect. Oh, wait, is that us? Oh, I guess it
all
is.
doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Lufthansa 8 Papa Super, turn left heading 250. Join localizer.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, we're watching this build up to the light blue green line here. I'll go up to 17-18% before I bring the fuel switch on below it. Starts up a lot like an Airbus. Minus the fact I'd already, one switch and then just move the masters.
Lufthansa Papa Super over wing, cleared ILS, CT left approach, speed your discretion.
Okay, we'll get number 1.
Lufthansa 8 Papa Super contact tower 128.8.
Oh, that'll help him out a lot.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Now, I have found that I have to click it to make it work. I haven't really dug in all the couple of years I've had this plane to see if there's a different way to set that brake. So, hey, wow, it's just a mouse move. Ooh, that hurts my hand. Okay, they're good to clear. And we'll get the middle engine number 2 going.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
All right, thanks for the pushback, and we'll see you next time. That's a free utility with X-Plane, and it's a really good utility. You can pretty well tell it if you know the pushback or the charts that Navigraph or wherever you get them from give you the directions, because there are some that really move you about that parking area. You can do it with this. Back, forward, I think it could pull me all the way to the runway if I wanted. So I haven't tried it. No, I really don't want to. So, but anyway, yeah, it's a really good free utility here with X-Plane. So, all right, with the engines up and running, let's go to X-Pounder if I'm not already there. I am. Okay. Okay, up to the middle here. Get the windshield defogger on. What are we looking for? APU bleed off. Come up here and we'll hit stop. And then monitor.
Speed 109 heavy with you of 15 right, 2,200 feet.
Speed 109 heavy Boston departure radar contact, climb team 14,000.
All right, let's do our checks here.
4,000, speed 109 heavy.
Real world GA pilots, this is something, a lot might skip over, but it can save your life checking these surfaces. There's a couple of very high profile crashes We may not have heard of them here in the Midwest, but out east they did. Of the gust locks being in place, pilots didn't do this real quick, verify their stick could move, and I couldn't climb off the end of the runway for some reason. Couldn't even get off the runway. Go figure. All right, trim says 4.8, so we'll set it in the stab A and U. And aux 1, oh, we already pushed back, so we're good. Go to takeoff. And flaps. Spoilers. And auto brake takeoff data. You will actually, if you follow the checklist.
134.7. 134.7, speed 1 in up heavy.
Yeah, Boston departure, FedEx 811 Heavy at Manchester, ready to taxi 35.
FedEx 811, Boston Center, hello. Or correction, Boston departure, hello. Runway 35 taxi via Echo Alpha and have a minor amendment to your flight plan advice, ready to copy.
Ready to copy. Echo Alpha to 35.
FedEx 811, maintain 3000 and expect follow T201's minutes after departure, that will be your final.
All right, 3,000 now initially, and 22 final altitude, FedEx 811.
Read back correct.
Ouch. Okay, so hang on. Get into my little FMC here, McDo, init, and now 22. Hopefully, uh-oh. Why is it not clearing? Huh. I hope that doesn't cause us troubles. We'll see. All right, so we're going to go to 220. Here we go.
Good morning, departure Parker 142, 3000, climbing 5.
Club 140T, Boston departure, radar contact, climbing team 14000.
14000, Parker 142.
All right, he said... Okay, fuel pumps all look good. Okay, oh yeah. Echo Alpha 1. Okay, Alpha 1.
Delta 5252 with you.
Delta 5252, say altitude leaving.
Leaving 2500, Delta 5252.
Delta 5252, Boston departure, radar contact, climbing team 14000.
14000, Delta 5252.
All right, center 34.7. Okay.
Parker 142, center 134.7.
Over to center. We'll see you. Parker 142.
Delta 5252, center 134.7.
134.7, Delta 5252, thank you.
Boston Parker, Lisa 1398, 500 feet. I'm in Used.
Allegiant 1398, Boston departure radar contact, climb team 14000.
I'm maintain 14000, Lisa 1398.
All right, final checks before takeoff. Takeoff data looks good. Auto flight, check. Prof. Let's get around. Flaps 15. All right.
It's about 2 Charlie Echo, good morning, passing 2000 for 5000.
Sweeper 2, Charlie Echo, Boston departure radar contact.
Okay, real quick. Hydraulic cabin, radar set. We're ready. And Boston departure, FedEx 811 heavy, ready to go, 3-5, holding short.
FedEx 811 heavy, fly runway heading runway 35, clear takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway heading, runway 35, FedEx 811.
Sierra 2, Charlie Echo, climb maintain 14000.
I maintain 14000, 2 Charlie Echo.
All right, we are clear for takeoff, 9,000 foot runway.
Boston departure, good day, American 1147, 2000 for 5000.
American 1147 Boston Center, correction, Boston departure, hello, radar contact, climb maintain 14000.
Climb maintain 14000, American 1147.
Rotate.
02 Charlie Echo, contact Boston Center 134.7.
134.7, SimBrief, 2 Charlie Echo, goodbye.
Okay, why are... Boston departure, FedEx 811 off Manchester through 2600 for 3000.
FedEx 811 Heavy, radar contact, climb maintain 10,000, turn left, heading 330.
Up to 10,000, 330 on to heading FedEx 811. Now I know why we can't do nav. Because we're in a discontinuity area.
Norwegian 1398, contact center 134.7.
Contact center 347, XP12.4.2. With a 1398.
FedEx 811 Heavy, clear direct Hannah.
Direct Hannah, FedEx 811.
American 1147, contact Boston Center 134.7.
Center 347, American 1147, we'll see you. Boston departure, Western 1625, 3.6, comma 5.
Westjet 1625 Boston, departure radar contact, climb maintain 14000.
14000, Western 1625.
FedEx 811 Heavy, contact center 134.7.
134.7 for FedEx 811, thanks.
Altimeter 3013.
Good morning, Boston Center, FedEx 811 with you through Stella 10,000, direct Hannah.
FedEx 811, Boston Center low, climb maintain, flight level 220.
Climb to 220, FedEx 811 Heavy.
Turkish 3 Heavy, cross Calverton VOR, Charlie, Charlie, Charlie VOR, had to maintain 2000. 250 knots, John F. Kennedy, altimeter 3013. Air Trans 284 departing the airspace to the south. Radar service terminated, frequency change approved.
Boston departure, Southwest 7092, passing to 8000.
All right, there you have it. We're airborne on our way.
Good morning, Canadian Express 001, climbing through flight 13,000 for flight level 320.
Southwest 7892, where is he?
I'm climbing 37,000 at this time. Headed to Bravo Romeo Romeo Oscar.
Okay, you should be with approach 133 point.
Go again with that frequency. Sorry about that. Southwest 7992.
Okay, we're on our way. 35 minutes or so, we should be in Newark. It's a short hop. If you look at a map, New Hampshire, New York City, it's all real close together.
11947, Southwest 2365, good day.
At one time, there used to be
Good morning, Canadian Express 001, climbing through 15,000 for flight level 320.
caravans and ATRs going between the two. Now it's actually, it's part of two-stop 767 from Manchester, Newark, Memphis.
13, calling 14.
Excuse me.
Lost center, hello, climb maintain flight level 340.
Climb maintain level 340, 1625, thanks.
And Canadian Express 001, what's your position?
We're just approaching Bugsy.
Canadian Express 001, Roger, squawk 3524.
3524, Canadian Express 001. Center, pilot club 142, top of descent.
Pilot Club 142, descend and maintain 0,000. And once you start your descent, you can switch over to advisory 122.8 and then the CTAF for Iceland MacArthur once you get close.
Okay, no, down to 10,000 and we'll go to advisory and CTAF. Pilot club 142, we'll see you.
Number 712, Papa, over to advisory now. Washington just closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
Roger, over to advisory. Thanks for your help today. 712 Papa.
Lufthansa 400 Heavy after tree cross the Calverton VOR. Charlie, Charlie, Charlie VOR. At and maintain 2,000, 12,000 feet, 250 knots. The John F. Kennedy altimeter 3013.
12,000 feet, that's 400. And speed up 29 Hampshire request to Unicom if possible, as we need some time. Got that.
Speedbird 189 Heavy, that's approved. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. Thanks for taking the flight through Boston.
Okay, thank you for the control. Speedbird 189 Heavy, bye-bye.
Turkish 3 Heavy departing the airspace into New York. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
New York offline, Turkish 3 Heavy.
Hello, Delta 26.3, flight level 380. Sorry, that session on toilet took more than expected.
At Delta 2643 here, departing my airspace now over to flight advisory. We'll see.
Over to advisory, Delta 2653, I'm sorry again, bye-bye. Under Southwest 7892, we're back. Sorry about that before. We're climbing to 14,000, passing 12,000.
At Southwest 7892, that's not a problem. I do have your radar contact. Climb maintain flight level 220.
Climb maintain 220, Southwest 7892.
Boston Center, Air Canada 226, request switch to advisory. Georgia advisory 228. Thanks for ATC. Your cat 226 for you.
And number 316 Echo Victor, report the Burlington Airport.
Roger, we're looking 316 Echo Victor.
Yeah, I've got to keep you pretty high over those hills there, so just let me know when you have the airport in sight. You may have to descend over the airport once I get you closer.
Roger, we'll keep you posted. 316 Echo Victor.
Canadian Express 001, radar contact now, climb maintain flight level 320.
Climb maintain flight level 320, Canadian Express 001.
Lufthansa 400 descending out of my airspace into New York. They're offline, radar service terminated, frequency change approved.
Boston Center, good morning, November 9th, Prism Delta Echo, San Juan, North Airport, request from the airport, 450 Kilo, Foxtrot, Oscar, Kilo.
And November 935 Delta Echo, where are you? November 935 Delta Echo, you're a little broken up. If that's you transmitting, just asking what airport are you at currently?
North Airport.
Okay, November 935 Delta Echo, that's in New York airspace actually, at the ground, so you can depart at your discretion.
Got it. Thanks on Delta Echo.
November 316 Echo Victor has a field in sight.
Okay, November 316 Echo Victor, cleared visual approach runway 33 at Burlington. The wind at Burlington 210 at 9 knots, runway 33, clear to land.
Roger, cleared visual, clear to land runway 33. November 316 Echo Victor. And Boston Center, Delta 1481 with you, runway 11,000, climb me 14,000.
Delta 1481 Boston Center, good morning. Climb 18, flight level 36.
Good morning, and then climb maintain for 36,000, Delta 1481.
Boston Center, FedEx 811. Sorry if I missed any transmissions. We had a situation we had to take care of here in the house, but we couldn't call you.
That's not a problem. FedEx 811, I'm just looking at your flight plan here. What's your next waypoint?
FedEx 811, we're looking at Hannah in about 23 miles.
FedEx 811, roger. And we'll proceed on course.
Continuing on course, and again, my apologies if I missed anything. FedEx 811.
Negative, you did not miss anything, and it was fine with me.
And Boston Center, Delta 1481.
Go ahead.
If there's a speed restriction, can we delete the speed restriction for our climb?
All right.
Delta 1481, speed your discretion.
We had to go. Literally. So my apologies to you all as well on stream. Yeah, we had food poisoning last Sunday, and we've been recovering for the most part, and
1147, climb 18, flight level 30.
it decided to rear itself out of the rear again. But again, it's just part of the recovering out of it, and it caught me off guard how quick it came on. So yeah, there's no say, be right back, any of that. We had to go. So, Lord have mercy. And by the way, age doesn't help. So, but anyway, hey, thanks for being with Flying with Mike today. We sure appreciate you. Currently looking, let's see what our ETA is, about 25-ish minutes to Newark. Things will progress pretty quickly here once we cross Hannah. Just so you're all aware, you know, the easiest way so you all are aware is just show the chart. All right, and shows you now 3.5 is not being used by Say Intentions. They do not have digital ATC there, or ATIS, Automatic Terminal Information Service. So that's why it says not used. But currently we're going to plan 22 left. Got the ILS set up, and Flossie 4 off Hannah.
American 32 Tango Boston Center, climb 18, flight level 36, sir.
So here's Hannah, Albany, Alcove, Taco, or Talco, Wheats, Helen, and Flossie. Crank at 7,000 and somewhere between.
On the frequency, controller change in progress. Just everybody stand by. We'll get right back to you.
So from Flossie, we'll go to Crank, where we'll be at 7,000. Shaft minus what ATC tells us. Between Shaft and Sparta's VOR here, Sachs, will be vectored over to 22 left, or we'll be on our own at that point. We'll vector ourselves. I don't see New York up there, New York City, and so, but yeah. Again, my apologies for that abrupt silence that happened out of me. And you all can quit your yay. So that's what we're planning. Then 22 left, we're going to just go probably direct a Zico. We're going to skip the Patron and just join the ILS at 3,000 feet. So, all right. And if you're not familiar, 22 left is over here. FedEx is right here. So that'll work out good. We'll use one of these 3 high speeds to get us over there. All right.
Boston Center, good morning. Southwest 40, 9,600 for 10,000.
South 2340 Boston Center, hello, climb and maintain for level 300.
300, 2340, will that be our final?
Most likely, yeah.
Let's roll into 300, 2040.
Oh, my goodness.
Southwest 7832, descend and maintain 10,000, Long Island altimeter is 3012.
And maintain 10,000, Southwest 702.
Allegiant 4985, New York Center is offline, frequency change approved. Your mic was muted. Virgin S360 Lima, Center is offline, frequency change approved.
Boston Center, hello, Southwest 2340, requesting you to leave the flight deck for about 8 minutes.
That's approved. Let me know the back.
We'll call 2340.
Delta 52, New York Center is offline. Frequency change approved.
12.8 on the 50 KMHT, thank you.
American 1147, cross tune at and maintain flight level 200. American 1147, cross dune at and maintain flight level 200.
Cross, through to maintain 100, American 1147.
Dune at 200.
Dune 200, American 1142.
Boston Center, Delta 5066, flight level 310. Delta 5066, Boston Center, squawk 7372. 7372, Delta 56D6. Allegiant 1398, New York Center is offline, frequency change approved.
Over to you, Allegiant 1398, thanks for the ATC.
American 7892, New York approach offline, frequency change approved.
Set for American 47.
Negative. Number 316, Echo Victory, contacted for Quebec Golf. Have a good day.
Quebec Golf, thank you. 316 Echo Victory.
Number 617, Golf Boston, are you up? Boston Center, good day, American 9927, flight level at 14,000. American 9927, Boston Center, hello, climb and maintain flight level 380. Climb and maintain flight level 380, American 9927.
That's a sleep. Number 48, Mike, ground garage, London Airport, southwest.
Number 48, Mike, Quebec, Boston Center, good.
Yeah, request taxi runway 234, Newark, departure to northeast. Information echo, flight stop, Manchester Regional. Flight also request flight level 1 Mike Quebec.
Number 48, Mike, Quebec, Roger, squawk 1345, runway 23, taxi via Charlie, report ready.
Via Charlie, squawk 1345, 1 Mike Quebec.
Boston Center, American 1776 JFK, flight level 230.
American 1776 Boston Center, hello, descent by the Roebuck 3 arrival for runway 22 left, Boston altimeters 3002.
Roebuck 3, 22 left, transition 3002 on the box and on the altimeter. American 1776.
American 1147, New York Center is offline, frequency change approved. Special advisory, American 1147, soon. FedEx 811, cross crank at 7,000 to the Stewart altimeters 300 manner.
Okay, we'll cross crank at 7,000, FedEx 811 on the Flossie for arrival.
Good morning, Boston Center. This is November 6 on 7 Gold at 17,000. November 6 on 7 Gold, Boston Center. Hello, descent by the Roebuck 3 arrival for runway 22 left, the Boston altimeters 3002. Via direct Roebuck and 22 left, 3002. Thank you, sir. And Southwest 7092, we'd like to continue our descent here, if we can. Southwest 7892, frequency change approved. It's a change approved, good day, Southwest 7092.
Boston Center, approach to 45 Quebec, waiting for taxi.
Number 4 at Mike Quebec, runway 23, taxi via Charlie, report ready.
Ready. 45 Quebec.
Just report ready for departure after your run-up, so runway 23, taxi via Charlie.
Welcome. 45 Quebec.
Boston Center, Delta 270610,000, 14,000.
Level 2706, Boston Center, climb and maintain, flight level 360.
Maintain level 360, Delta 2706. Boston Center, good morning, Delta 703 at 6,000 for 14,000.
Level 703, Boston Center, climb and maintain, flight level 340.
340, Delta 703.
Number 4 at Mike Quebec, proceed on course, runway 23, clear for takeoff.
Yeah, so far the descent profile looks pretty good on this plane. And then it steepens up. All right, well, hey, I'm back with you, as you can tell. Flying with Mike here. Hey, we are Manchester to Newark. About, what, 10 minutes out or so. So, if you got any predictions, now would be a good time. Otherwise, you may forget. But it's pretty simple. Exclamation mark. The word predict. P-R-E-D-I-C-T. And then a space and a negative number. And we'll see how we do. I've got mine in. But yeah, we are slowly getting in there. And we should be handed off into the Unicom world here soon. Crank will be on the edge of Boston, New York. Unless approach comes up. And I'm not seeing it yet. Okay, checklist calls for us. Okay, yeah, our fuel's fine now. It usually is. Windshield set, descent limit set. Okay, decision altitude does need to be adjusted for the ILS 200.
November 617 Golf, connect Boston approach 133.0.
Boston approach 133.0, thank you, sir.
You know, the one thing I don't think I've ever seen, you all can correct me on this, feel free to. I don't think I've ever shown where it's projecting us to hit 7,000 on here. Let me just increase. Oh, that's actually long. Where are we? No, we should be on track.
Delta 1481, New York Center is offline, frequency change approved.
Change approved, Delta 1481, good day, thanks.
We're forward, back, we're to contact altitude limit.
7,504 and 7,500.
We're forward, back, roger, radar contact, climate maintain, action met for the Providence altimeter is 3007.
3007, wait, micromet.
FedEx 811, Newark approach is offline, frequency change approved.
Copy, frequency change approved. Thank you for the great ATC. Have a great day.
See you later.
All right, we are on our own. So the game plan here is, unless someone comes up to tell us otherwise, between Shaft and Sachs VOR, we'll make our turn for the initial to 2 left. All right, and I know probably what that message is. Error buzz. That's because, yeah. Okay. All right, so we're looking at 149 for this approach, 144 reference speed. And yeah, looks like a pretty good deal. How we doing here? Crank. Let's get the lights on. Hey, Matt, 1997, welcome aboard. By the way, we are going into the Dreswicki Newark scenery. It's not all that new, but it's been around a month or two, so pay attention to the README, follow those directions, and you shouldn't have troubles. But it's a really, you're gonna get a good look at it here as we begin to level off here. Crank. Once we cross shaft, I may just go direct. But welcome aboard. The vote, by the way, if you haven't figured it out, that was up on the Discord channel. Yeah, the heavies won. And with the announcement, the MD-11s are coming back by FedEx. What a great day to fly them. Hopefully by the end of the month, I think I read they hope to have revenue services restored in the MD-11. So that'll really help FedEx out. It's a shame what caused all of it. But glad to at least see they have a little more life in them. Okay, let's get to work getting this bird on the ground. This is where a lot of people, including this guy, have a lot of troubles with this plane. And that may be why the airlines in the real world tossed them. Hence, the freighter companies gobbled them up very cheap, mind you. So they're it's an interesting aircraft. It lands kind of fast. It has that famous McDonnell Douglas takeoff, which is reach for the moon. And I mean the nose reaches straight up sometimes. From a distance, that's what it looks like. And wow. So, but anyway, where are we at speed-wise? Okay. Let's go direct. First off, clear and clear, direct. There. Is it really that big of a deal? Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. All right, we're going to start down to 3,000. I probably should have gone the other way. Oh well. Okay, we're set up there. We're descending. Let's get some slats out. I know we're still a pretty good distance out, but that'll help to get us where we need to be. All right. Okay, that's set. Now, rad nav. All right, 108, 108.7 slash 2. Oh, wait. Clear. 219. LSQ. There we go. Now, you technically don't have to do that. It will eventually pick it up, but we're already at 3. I just like being fully ready. All right, we could have started that descent a little longer out. All right, looks like we have somebody tracking in front of us. For Teterboro. We fly over Teterboro just so... Wait a minute. No, we pick it up just south. And I mean just south of the airport. So... Little slow flight flying there for you on the autopilot. Oh, excuse me, folks. I'm excited there is going to be an update to the Flight Factor 757 Mango sound pack. Whoa, you know, I don't know, Matt, you may want to just kind of catch the last stream I did in flight. I want to say the last update to the 767, which I think included the 57, the sounds were different. And I didn't see anything in the log that said they changed them. That doesn't mean they didn't. It's one of those, oh, surprise. No, possibly. But they sounded different, unless I'm trying to mix too many airplanes together. That's always a possibility. So, but yeah, that's awesome. The Mango sound pack for the 57 is being updated, or has been. Nice. This is one of those airplanes I've been always thinking about. And even when I first purchased the 757, it was on my radar. But the problem was the 767 could fly longer, carry more, you know, it's a heavy. And the 757, they're in essence very close to the same aircraft. One's just wide body, one's narrow, hence why one flies farther than the other. More fuel. But yeah, that's awesome that the 57 might get a better sound pack. Like I said, I swear the 767 sounded different on the last flight. But I don't have the Mango pack to know if, you know, so. All right, we're getting close. The ILS is tuning in. We're just waiting for the localizer and glide slope to not say no. And we'll be ready to join. We're slowed up to 180, which in the real world, probably people are mad at me right now. Usually you come in at about 210 to 240 until you get the word cleared for the approach. Then speed becomes yours. And I made speed mine when I descended. Actually, the flaps did that for me. All right, and as soon as we get it, we'll hit approach land and get set up for the landing. Again, we are looking at 150-ish is what we'll fly the approach at. Try to land it around 144, maybe not in front of the landing bars, but after it, aiming point. So we'll see. I haven't decided how I want to. Exclamation mark the word predict, negative number afterwards, and you can get a prediction in. I haven't looked yet to see how many are in. Just mine. Okay. Oh, we have an approach. Armed. All right. Now, technically, the interesting thing about this plane, it seems it's always armed for auto land. Now, I will show you one way. You find your own way, the way I do it. And what I do is I'll disconnect auto throttles and set my throttles. And then I'll disconnect the autopilot from the switch here if it's working. Now, how do I disconnect auto throttle? That's one big thing in the sim that took me a while to figure out. And it shouldn't have. It was right in front of my face. The button's right there. Toga and disconnect. So Toga is kind of automatic. Well, so okay, we are armed and we are about to. All right, let's switch over to common traffic. And let me get my chart up. Azeko. Yeah, we actually did fly in from Patron. Who knew? But anyway, we're about to join. Good morning, Newark traffic. FedEx 811 heavy. Intercepting the localizer Azeko 422 left. And 22 left's in sight, FedEx 811, about 11 mile final. Okay. Going flaps 28. I know, weird numbers. Let's go flaps full.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Gear down for green. Okay, got my runway dead ahead. Now, this scenery you're going to enjoy. We'll do a lot more of looking a little more on the ground than here, but we'll look up in this area as well as the enhancements to the terminal. For now, let's get to landing this bird. Final checks, gear, auto brakes, flaps set, FCP set. All right, and we are ready to bring her in. All right, I'm disconnecting auto throttle. Autopilot.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
Thought I double clicked it.
Autopilot.
All right, we're flying flight director visual. All right, we're on profile. Let's give it a little bit of gas here. This is where I do pretty good. It's when we get closer to the ground is when it really gets me all squirrely. And that's me, not the plane. And Newark traffic, 2 mile final, 22 left.
Approaching minimum. 200. 100.
Glide slope.
20. 10.
We'll go for Papa 2. I think it... Oh, wait. Is that Papa 2 or November? Helps to come out of reverse there, Captain. Newark traffic, FedEx 811's off at November, headed to FedEx. Alright, let's go find a parking spot, shall we? What's our trim after landing? 3. Okay, we're ready to shut it down. Auto brake, make sure is off. It is. Weather radar's all off. Okay, fuel switches. Hang on, let's go ahead. Do we need to turn the APU bleed on? Okay, beacons off. Okay, and all right, we're here. Let's get the chocks in, ground power on in case. All right, welcome in, folks. I hope you all enjoyed. That was actually a very fun flight. Sorry for the little event in the middle there where I had to make a dash for the restroom, and I mean make a dash. Anyway, we had fun. Let's get set up for flight number 2 after we do a quick look around here. But I want to first, let's see how FedEx caught us here. 286, it looks like. Well, we'll find out. We'll hit stop. Speed 138. Okay, a little slow. 286 for the feet per minute. And let's log it. All right. Yes. Hang on, I want to just check a couple things. It's got to be done here, too. Oh, that's right. It's weird, but that's okay. Hey, we're in Newark, and there goes Walker / Lufthansa, whichever they're playing, off to the runway. And we got a United pushback as well. Let's do a quick look around here before. You know what? Let's do this. Get rid of that. Let's take a look. That's the new terminal here. Dreswicki, I think, has done a really good job here. This airport looks really not the way I remember it. Mind you, I flew out of here in the 80s on TWA. So it definitely is not the Newark I remember. But I don't think it was intended to. But remember when I told you to pay attention, if you could, to here? Before you say, well, where's the skyline? My scenery settings are set at a level to help my system out. But there it is in the distance there. But yeah, they have this loading area here. Now, the infamous talk of day, right here where you see my pointer kind of circling, that's the New Jersey Turnpike. Runway 29 is up here. And that is where all the commotion came in with that, I think, 767. I think I misspoke and thought it was a 400 or 777. Either way, the runway there itself, hang on, let me pull up the airport chart, is only 6,700 feet. Yes, we can land aircraft on there. I personally would not want to land a 767, even though the numbers probably say it can. You're going to be low because you're going to have to hit that perfect. And probably be set to max and use every ounce of thrust you have in reversed to reverse the plane to stop. So... but hey, that's me, a little private pilot, Piper Arrow, Cessna 172 type flying. That's a scary, situation there. But may I add one other caveat? Back in the late 80s, no, it would have been mid 90s. And since, and continuing ever since, I've looked at becoming a dispatcher. The big problem living in the St. Louis area is there's really only one airline and a few little corporate outfits here. You're gonna have to live in Dallas, New York, Seattle, Anchorage, which I wouldn't mind Anchorage until winter hit. LA, most of those, and of course, Chicago, which should be like Michigan. Oh, anyway, I don't like Chicago. You'd have to move. And the thought of having to move at the time, my whole family, not a good thought. But in my investigations of that back in the 90s, the dispatcher test you take for the FAA, that was the runway. You had to get a 727 off the ground on a hot summer day. Yeah, you all familiar with 727s know hot summer days, short runways, the two are like oil and water. They can, but they really don't mix. They prefer the bigger runways. So that's where all that commotion was. The aircraft would have been going from your screen, from you looking right to left. And about where DHL is up there is where 29 is. And it would have been right about here-ish where all the commotion started. Him hitting the truck, the light post before the runway. So it's a doable runway. Yeah. Not everything's doable though, even though by paper it should be. So, but anyway, back to Dreswicki. I just had to do the sidebar there. Fantastic job. Remember I talked about the little caravans and all that used to fly a few flights from Manchester down to Newark? Here's where they came, and Newark was more their base than up there. And you can see quite a few. And I really would love to come here and see the operation, see how it all works for FedEx. The other big changes with the new terminal, UPS used to park over in this area of the ramp. DHL might have, but they have since moved also. And I don't know how easy that will be. You can kind of see the DHL and UPS aircraft up to the north side. So, along with the United hangars and all of that. So, but yeah, well done. Really a nice scenery. I love what they've done. I'm kind of curious what's coming here with all the construction truckies here. But yeah, almost makes me want to go there, but not really. So, all right. Well, I hope everyone here enjoyed this flight. Hey, Twitch folks, stand by. We're going to go into a quick change-up mode here. Let me do something real quick. There we go. Kind of watch Walker. Walker or DHL, whichever call sign. Ooh, I didn't think this. Oh, now I'd have really been impressed if I'd have seen conveyor belts and all of that in there. You know how you have the terminal? Well, actually, the terminals do have that. I'd have really been impressed that he went into FedEx and got all of that. But it was a nice takeoff there, DHL. Yeah, wouldn't that be a surprise to all of us? All right. Well, anyway, there's our FedEx RD, and I have not made mention. It's the Purple People Eater, and I hope you all enjoyed. It's been a fantastic flight from Manchester, New Hampshire, down to Newark. Stand by Twitch. Like I said, we'll be right back with the second half of this day. YouTubers will make a second video for you so you don't have to endure an extremely long video. So thank you all so much for being a part of Flying with Mike today. And if you liked what you've seen, hit that like button here on Twitch. If you liked it over on YouTube, we'd love for you to subscribe and hit the thumbs up. For now, have a great rest of your day. God bless. We'll see you on the next flight.